What's up, brother? Glory, oh mother Gaia. My fucking god, what a week it's been. A week of learning a lot about myself within the world and how to nourish relationships, how to live with and cultivate a sensitivity that lives as an empathy within me, allowing me to move in harmonious relation and conscious creation of the space around me. I was quite blindsided by a psychopathic lack of awareness that I had with a person I really care about. And it's really opening me up to feel in a space that I haven't been feeling, to feel in a space that I chose to feel in a different way in order to see what I see and do what I do. And now coming into the sweet humanity of this emotion is quite a beautiful process to feel others' pain. And this pain has a lot to do with not respecting boundaries and unintentionally walking over boundaries, as the masculine has done for a long time upon this planet. And as I create and as I live in this world of creating in this world life, I choose to be and seek to embody the breath of one who nourishes all of those he walks with. And yeah, it caused a forest fire. And I feel really bad about it. And also recognize it as a blessing, an opportunity to learn and change and evolve. So yeah, that's what I'm doing by cultivating this empathy now. The way that this relates to creation is quite poignantly relevant. In my mural, I've been having a lot of difficulty tying the bow, completing something, finishing a piece. And last week, I set this intention that I was going to collapse infinity and only create in one small space, one portion of it. And I'll just bring you a visual reference. I essentially went from this big piece here to this smaller piece inside it. And I did a lot of work inside of this guy. But in the picture, so my intention is to collapse infinity into this small space. Just focus upon this one little fraction within the giant mural. And so I kind of drew a box, and in order to draw this box, I had to essentially chop a bunch of things up. I was drawing a line through a bunch of things, and there was things that I didn't want to draw a line through, so I just kind of allowed to sink in and break the border. And I feel like that's essentially my problem, is that in collapsing infinity, I collapse infinity with a leak. meaning a space that is not bound by the space that I set for it. And so I actually had 2 leaks. Both of the seam speakers, the Dreamwalkers, which is actually makes all of this, makes a lot of sense. It's like I have trouble respecting these boundaries because I'm a seam walker, and I'm weaving the seams between this world and the dream, walking in between. But what ends up happening is I'm neither really in both, or the unpracticed practitioner is not really in either reality. So the world, neither the world and the dream are not meeting, they're overlaying each other. And there's a magic to it. There's a beautiful magic to it, but it's not a precise magic. It's not articulate, concrete, or definitively defined. It is not an instrumental magic because the practitioner has no ability to say, this is the dream. I conjure it from this realm and I enter it into reality. Instead, he swims in all of the dreams and creates an energetic vibration of magic by swimming in the stream, but the magic isn't reliable in the sense that he could weave this into here and paint a scene and make it real. It is Shakti based. It is cool, but that's not what we're going for anymore. It never really was what we were going for. It was just what was happening. And so I had essentially 3 realities colliding within this piece that just now, last night I had a big session, but just now I was able to get to just one reality. And I ended up having to chop off the hand of the big guy. It was essentially there's a big man who's painting a mural, and the mural is of this guitar player who's strumming the chord, and the guitar that he's strumming is the actual frame, while the muralist is painting inside the mural. And so I had the guitar leaking out, or spilling out as the frame itself, and the man's hand coming out, and I had the big guy's hand going in. And so now I've just essentially cleared the canvas, which has also meant destroying the guitar player, the seam speaker of the over octave, because he wasn't allowing me to. I was scared of messing him up, so I wasn't really able to get a deep C background, because it was I was trying to navigate around his lines rather than doing the background and then bringing the character on top. So now we are here, which is essentially where we have drawn the line, fucked up the guy so that I'm no longer afraid of fucking with him, and I've pretty much obstructed all the forms that I had going. So now it's a bunch of chaos, but it's one realm of chaos, so I feel like I can work with that. My challenge within this is to do a form study. Now, I know that the ultimate form of creation right now for me is to draw, because I have a unique ability to weave reality into being when I draw that I don't quite have with painting. It's like drawing comes first and then color comes on top of it. And as I've been doing this, I've been kind of trying to clear up the first graders' mess of crayons by filling in the scribbles and doing it in a colored way, which just ends up taking way longer and is more exhausting. And I was kind of coming at it earlier from the perspective of I'm just going to finish it. And I feel like that is not the way. I feel like the way is, I guess there's two things going on. There's something cool that does happen when I'm coloring in the chaos of abstraction. And in that sense, I feel like something really cool can live here if I were to just do chaos and just do abstraction and fill it in with that. That's one way to go and a cool way to go. That can be the deep sea, but this also needs to be a form study. And I feel the way to do form, it's like learning how to integrate form and abstraction. I feel like I've finally come onto a single canvas. It's taken a really long time to get to a single canvas, but like, yeah, I guess that's cool. I was also like contemplating giving up on the mural on this one and starting over because it was just so much. But I feel like I finally have come to a single canvas and can begin the work. Now, so what I may do now, so I can get a little bit higher quality, is just cut this guy out, blow him up, and maybe double his size and just work on him as a single canvas. That I'll just drop into that spot without the context of everything around it fucking it up. And then, the next week I can drop out into a bigger one. Or keep going on this. Like, the other thing is, like, this could get super chaotic that I might want to go into it. I don't really know. But I haven't had much success yet being like, I'm going to finish this piece this week. I don't have... I'm learning how to have that kind of practice with this. I still am learning the form of this. So yeah, what's clear now again. Also, like the first week, the first day, right after making the intention, of collapsing the infinity, I ended up going back out into the big space. So that was just a great reflection of my state and how I relate to this thing. So, yeah, now I am dropping into this space. I've collapsed the space even more, removed 2 over octaves, and feel like I can work on this. And it's chaos, it's a Klezmerfect, but it's like chaotic to the point where there's not really anything there, so I can do anything I want. So that's great. And the challenge is to work on this only and integrate form study. And I know that there's some sensation of an ultimate form of creation is drawing. I'm gonna let that sort itself out and discover itself to me, and I'll always move to the harmonizing key of what is the true process right now. So I feel like I've made really good progress on this. I musically, was that track this week? Yeah. Created a really cool track this week. It's not really good quality, but it's incredible in essence. And yeah, I'm still contemplating how I want to rise the ship. If Ayazira wants to be a rough... I'm okay with Ayazira being super rough right now. I have access to the website. I think I've solved the problem, what I was being fucked with earlier. And so I'm just... in terms of tangible goals, it's work on this piece of chaos however you'd like. I could go back into that song that was happening really cool. I could just start something totally new. I could just treat this as something totally new. And yeah, I mean, maybe I will. This is such a weird, uncomfortable process. It's just total chaos. Musical goals this week, yeah, I don't really feel like I need to make any musical goals. I think music's been doing really well, just riding the way that it has been, and I have a really deep natural calling to it. So I would just say, create music every day, and hit this piece every day. I feel pretty weird right now, to be honest. But I know that this is a really important part of this process when getting to this realm. So we continue on with joy, with grace, with buoyancy, with sensuality and sexuality. And we come here to make love to this space. And fuck it. Just fuck any forms that are there. Be fearless in your attack to the oppression. Great. I'll give you your canvas now. Well done. You made it to a new level. I love you. Peace out, homie.